Hi folks. So I've been wrestling with a bit of a problem that I'm finding clients are having. Many people are struggling to realise and understand that they actually can change the way they think. They just don't get the fact that they have control over their own brains. Let me give you some examples. They can't see that they can stop being anxious. They don't understand that they have control over anger during an argument with a spouse. They think they will never be confident in their jobs and lose their imposter syndrome. They can't understand what they need to do to change. So I've been trying to work out a way I could explain it that's understandable, logical, and easy to understand. And what came into my head was the analogy of the brain being like a muscle. So let's start with the muscle. So what is a muscle? A muscle is a collection of protein units that work together to shorten or lengthen, to move a joint, or to stabilise a joint during movement. And muscles adapt to what stimulation that you give them. So if you're quite a sedentary person and you drive to work and you sit at work all day, you drive home and you sit at night, you're not really using your muscles very much, apart from sitting and walking. So what happens is they adapt to that and they basically become fit enough to do not very much. They're adapting to the stimulus and the environment that you give them. On the other end of that scale is the athlete in the gym, or just anybody that goes to the gym. You're using your muscles to the limit of their ability, and they adapt to that. So you push them to the limit, they become stronger to cope with this pressure that you're putting on them, and they get stronger. And as long as you keep doing that in a progressive manner, your muscle will get stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's taken out of the equation accidents and injuries, etc., that happen to most people at some point. But for the basis of the analogy, you don't use the muscle, it gets weaker. You do use the muscle, it gets stronger. And it moves in either direction depending on what you do. So you can be extremely fit and then suddenly stop exercising and become weak. And you can be extremely weak and suddenly start exercising and become fit. How does that apply to the brain? Well, the brain, although this is a very basic analogy and the brain is a very complicated organ, it responds in the same way. You have a thought. It creates a connection in the brain. You never have that thought again, and then that connection withers away and disappears. If you repeat the thought over and over and over again, that connection will become stronger and stronger and stronger. And roughly 600 repetitions, it will sink deep into the subconscious and become either a behaviour, subconscious movement pattern, a belief, a value. How you express yourself into the world. How can that be applied? So you are in charge of how you think. The thoughts you have are the ones you allow yourself to have and choose to have. So when you wake up in the morning, you can allow yourself to be happy. And the first thought you have on waking can be a happy thought. That creates a happy connection in the brain. You might go through the day being completely miserable for the rest of the day, but you've made that one connection. If you start to wake up every morning with a happy thought, that connection will get stronger because your subconscious does what you tell it to. It'll be stronger and stronger and stronger. And eventually, you'll start to wake up every morning with a happy thought without consciously thinking about it, because you've repeated it so often that it's sunk deep in the subconscious and become a habitual behaviour. And you can apply that to any aspect of your life. How you respond when you're in an argument, friend, a spouse, with anybody, work colleague. How you respond to that argument determines how it goes, and you have a choice on that. You don't have to jump in. You can take a second and think, how can I better react here? If you develop that ability by repeating it over and over and over, it allows you to have some influence in how your life goes, and you can apply it to every aspect of your life. Every aspect. So all I'm asking you to do is treat your brain like a bit of a muscle. Develop it in the way that you want it to express you back into the world, in your beliefs, in your values, the emotions, your thoughts, and your behaviours. You're in charge of it all. You may not believe this, but all I ask you to do is practice. And you'll find that you will start to elevate your life up, 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 through choice. You don't have to accept where you are. Nobody says you have to think a certain thing. We have an event, we have you in the middle, and we have the outcome, which can range from the higher better outcome down to the lower disastrous outcome. The event has no intrinsic value or reaction whatsoever. The reaction comes from you, and your reaction determines the level of outcome. So you're a very important piece in that puzzle. You need to see yourself as that. See that you have the power to change your own life through treating your brain like a muscle. So just what I ask you to do is have one thought a day, every day, that improves you in the right direction, and see what builds. Think of compound interest. Lots of little changes together make the bigger change. If you like this video, you've got something from it, please do like it below, or subscribe if you're seeing it within YouTube, and follow us further as we develop these videos and build and build and build and grow together. Thank you for your time.